Before we begin, please note that this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. The information provided is not intended to be a substitute for professional financial or legal advice. All strategies, tips, and examples are based on experiences within the real estate industry, but individual results will vary. You should consult with a qualified professional before making any business decisions. They tell you cold calling is dead. You hear it everywhere. On podcasts, in Facebook groups, from that guru selling a new $1,000 course on TikTok ads. They say it's an outdated, inefficient, soul-crushing relic of a bygone era. They paint a picture of you, chained to a desk, smiling and dialing for 8 hours a day, facing a tidal wave of rejection, just to maybe land one mediocre lead. They tell you there's a better way, an easier way. Just buy their leads, run their ads, use their automated system, let the business come to you. And I'm here to tell you that is the single biggest, most dangerous lie being sold to real estate agents in the United States today. The death of cold calling is the best thing that has ever happened to a serious agent. Why? Because while everyone else is running away from the phone, convinced it's a graveyard, they've left the gold mine completely unguarded. For you, the truth is the phone is not dead. Brute force, brain dead. Boiler room style prospecting? Yes, that's dead and it should be. But strategic, intelligent, and value-driven outreach on the telephone is not just effective. It is the single most powerful and profitable lead generation pillar you can build in your real estate business. Period. It is the one skill that, once mastered, gives you complete control over your income. It frees you from dependence on Zillow, on Facebook, on your broker's spotty leads. It turns you from a passive marketer, waiting for the phone to ring, into a business operator who can decide. Today, I'm going to generate 3 qualified seller appointments, and then actually go and do it. But let's be honest, you probably hate the idea of cold calling. If you're like 99% of agents, the mere thought of it makes your stomach churn. You know the feeling. You block out 2 hours in your calendar for prospecting. You sit down at your desk. You've got your list of names, maybe it's an expired list, maybe it's a for sale by owner, maybe it's a circle prospect list. And you just stare at it. Your coffee starts to get cold. You decide your desk is a little messy, so you tidy it up. You check your email. You scroll through Instagram for a minute, just to get your mind right. You watch one more YouTube video on the perfect script. An hour goes by. You haven't made a single call. Your heart is pounding. Your palms are a little sweaty. You're imagining every possible negative outcome. The angry homeowner yelling at you to get a real job. The awkward silence. The immediate hang-up. The feeling of being an annoying, intrusive telemarketer. That fear of rejection isn't just a feeling. It's a physical force holding you down. So you tell yourself the lie. The same lie the gurus are selling. This isn't working. The leads are bad. The data is old. Nobody answers their phone anymore. Cold calling is dead. It's a comforting lie. It absolves you of the responsibility. It's not your fault. It's the method's fault. So you go looking for the magic bullet. You spend hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars a month on online leads that are sold to 5 other agents. You get stuck in an endless loop of chasing down fake numbers and email addresses, competing on response time, trying to stand out in a crowded inbox. You're playing their game on their turf by their rules, and your business feels like a roller coaster you can't control. Some months are great. Some months are terrifying. You have no predictability. You have no power. This video is your way out. Over the next 10 parts, we are going to systematically dismantle every myth you've been told about cold calling and rebuild your entire approach from the ground up. This isn't about giving you a few magic scripts. A script is useless if the person reading it is trembling with fear and sounds like a robot. This is about a total transformation. We're going to rewire your brain, redefine your strategy, and rebuild your confidence so that when you pick up the phone, you're not a telemarketer begging for business. You are a respected, confident advisor initiating a professional conversation. You're not a pest, you're a problem solver. Here's exactly what we're going to shatter and what we're going to build. First, we're going to destroy the mindset of making dials. The old way is a numbers game. Call 100 people to talk to 10 to set one appointment. It's a recipe for burnout. The new way is a connection game. We're going to focus on quality over quantity. I'll show you how to make 20 surgical, well-researched calls that produce better results than 200 random dials. We will focus on the psychology of the human on the other end of the line. What do they fear? What do they want? How can you, in the first 7 seconds, signal that you are different, that you are not the 20 other agents who have already called them today. Second, we're going to kill the idea of the perfect script. The perfect script doesn't exist because you're not talking to a perfect robot. You're talking to a human being. A stressed-out homeowner whose listing just expired. A proud FSBO who thinks they can do it all themselves. Instead of rigid scripts, we're going to build flexible frameworks. We'll learn the art of active listening, how to ask powerful questions that uncover true motivation, and how to handle any objection. Not by using a canned rebuttal, but by understanding the root cause of the objection and addressing it with empathy and logic. You will learn to love objections because you'll see them for what they are. A request for more information. Third, and most importantly, we're going to build an unbreakable system. The biggest reason agents fail at prospecting is a lack of consistency. They get motivated, call for 3 days, get a little discouraged, and then stop for 2 months. That cycle ends now. We're going to build a simple, repeatable system for who to call, when to call, and what to say. We'll cover the technology you actually need, and what's a waste of money. We'll talk about how to prep your lists for maximum efficiency. We'll create a structure that removes emotion and guesswork from the equation. Your prospecting time will become a non-negotiable, automatic part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. It will become the engine of your business that runs every single day, predictably and reliably generating opportunities. This is not theory. This is the exact playbook that top producers across the country are using right now to build multi-seven-figure businesses, even in a shifting market. Especially in a shifting market. Because when the market gets tough, when the easy leads dry up, the agents who thrive are the ones who know how to proactively hunt for business. They are the ones who have mastered the skill of creating opportunities out of thin air. That skill is what I'm going to teach you. So the question is not, is cold calling still effective? That's the wrong question. It's like asking if the gym is still effective for getting in shape. The real question is, am I willing to learn the right technique, adopt the right mindset, and follow a proven system to make it effective for me? If your answer is yes, then you are in the right place. Forget everything you've been told. Erase the bad memories. Let go of the fear. We're starting from scratch. And we're going to turn the most feared tool in real estate into your personal ATM. The first step is to understand the fundamental shift that separates the amateurs from the pros before they even dial the first number. It has to do with 2 simple words: intent and value. And mastering this concept is the key to unlocking everything else. Let's break that down. Intent and value. They sound like corporate buzzwords, but I promise you, they are the twin pillars that hold up every single successful cold calling strategy in real estate today. Get them wrong, and you're just another annoying voice on the phone. Get them right, and you become a welcome expert, a problem solver. To really understand this, let's imagine 2 agents. We'll call the first one Mark. Mark is new, he's hungry, and he's been told that cold calling is a numbers game. So he buys a list of 10,000 names in a zip code, fires up his triple line dialer, and starts hammering the phones. His intent is simple and brutally honest. I need a listing. I need a commission. I need to make a sale. This is what the industry calls commission breath. You can't see it, but the person on the other end of the line can smell it from a mile away. So the phone rings. A homeowner, let's call her Sarah, picks up. She's just gotten home from work. She's trying to figure out dinner. The dog is barking. She says, "Hello." Mark launches into his script. "Hi, is this Sarah? My name is Mark, and I'm a real estate agent with XYZ Realty. I was just calling to see if you had any thoughts of selling your home in the next 6 to 12 months. Let's pause. What just happened here?" Mark's intent to get a listing was completely transparent. He offered 0 value. He asked for Sarah's most valuable asset, her time and attention, and in return gave her nothing. He didn't know anything about her home, or her neighborhood beyond what his list told him. His question was generic, self-serving, and immediately positioned him as just another telemarketer. Sarah's brain, like all of our brains, has a built-in spam filter. It instantly categorizes Mark's call. Is this a friend? No. Is this important information? No. Is this someone trying to sell me something I didn't ask for? Yes. The mental walls go up. Her response is automatic, a defense mechanism honed by years of unwanted calls. "No, we're not interested," she says, and before Mark can even start his rebuttal about the hot market, she's already hung up. Mark slams the phone down. This doesn't work, he thinks. He does this 99 more times and gets 99 more rejections. He concludes cold calling is dead. But it's not. Mark's approach is dead. He was focused entirely on what he could get. Now let's look at our second agent. We'll call her Jessica. Jessica has been in the business for a while, and she understands the modern game. Her intent is completely different. Her goal is not to get a listing on the first call. Her intent is to give value. She wants to establish herself as the undeniable, hyper-local expert for a very specific neighborhood. She wants to become a resource so that when someone in that neighborhood does think about selling, her name is the only one that comes to mind. Her intent is to serve, not to sell. Jessica isn't dialing a random list of 10,000 people. She's focusing on a specific subdivision of 300 homes. And before she even picks up the phone, she does her homework. She knows a house on 123 Maple Street just sold for $20,000 over asking price with multiple offers. She knows it had a renovated kitchen and a finished basement, and she knows that the Zillow estimate for the homes around it hasn't updated yet to reflect that new, powerful comp. She has a piece of valuable, timely information that the average homeowner in that neighborhood does not have. That is her value. Now she calls Sarah. The phone rings, Sarah picks up, same situation, trying to figure out dinner. Hello. Jessica starts differently. Hi, I'm looking for Sarah. My name is Jessica. I'm a local real estate specialist. I know this call is out of the blue, but the reason I'm calling is specifically about your neighbor's house at 123 Maple Street that just sold. I'm not sure if you saw, but it closed for a record price for the neighborhood, and it's going to have a significant impact on the value of all the homes around it, including yours. I'm just calling the immediate neighbors to share the data before it becomes public knowledge. Do you have 60 seconds for me to tell you about it? Let's pause again. What's the difference? It's night and day. Jessica's intent was to inform. She led with value. She gave Sarah a powerful, ego-driven reason to listen. This call is about your home's value. She used a pattern interrupt. Sarah was expecting a sales pitch, but she got a news bulletin. She was expecting a question, but she got an offer of information. This approach completely bypasses the brain's spam filter. Sarah isn't thinking, how do I get this person off the phone? She's thinking, wait, my neighbor's house? A record price? How does that affect me? Her defensiveness is replaced by curiosity. Even if Sarah has zero intention of selling, Jessica has accomplished something incredible. She's provided a piece of valuable information. She has positioned herself not as a salesperson, but as a market expert with inside knowledge. She can end the call by saying, well, I just wanted to make sure you were aware. I put together a one-page report on the sale and what it means for the other homes in the subdivision. Would it be okay if I emailed that over to you so you have it for your records? Boom. Now Jessica has an email address. She has permission to follow up. She has started a conversation. She hasn't asked for a single thing. She has only given. She has planted a seed. Over the next few months, she might send a quarterly update on the neighborhood. When another home sells, she might call again with another piece of valuable insight. She is playing the long game. When Sarah and her husband finally do decide to sell a year later, who are they going to call? The guy who called out of the blue asking for their business? Or the woman who has been professionally and politely keeping them informed about their single largest asset for the past 12 months? It's not even a competition. This is the fundamental shift. Stop thinking, how can I find a seller today? And start thinking, how can I provide so much value to a specific group of homeowners that they would never even consider calling anyone else? Your intent dictates your energy. If your intent is to get, you sound needy. You sound like a telemarketer. Your tone is tight. You're braced for rejection. But if your intent is to give, your energy completely changes. You sound confident, relaxed, like a consultant calling to deliver good news. You're not asking for anything, so rejection doesn't even feel like rejection. If someone says no, that's fine. You're just the messenger of valuable information, and you'll move on to the next neighbor who will likely be happy to hear it. And the value you provide has to be real. It can't be a generic offer for a free home valuation. Everyone offers that. It has to be specific, timely, and hyperlocal. It could be a recent sale, a zoning change, news about a new school being built, a shift in inventory levels in their specific price point. It's your job to be a data miner, to find these golden nuggets of information that you can then distribute to homeowners. You become the neighborhood's personal stock ticker for real estate. So before you make your next call, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. 1. What is my true intent on this call? Is it to get, or is it to give? And 2. What piece of tangible, undeniable value am I bringing to this conversation that this person cannot easily find on Google? If you can't answer those two questions clearly and confidently, you have no business picking up the phone. You're just adding to the noise. But if you can shift your mindset to one of a value provider, a true market expert whose primary goal is to inform and empower, well, that's when cold calling stops being a chore, stops being scary. It becomes a strategic, powerful, and yes, incredibly effective tool to build a real business. But having the right mindset is only the first piece of the puzzle. Now that you know how to think and what to say, the next critical question is, who do you actually call to begin with? Because calling the right people is just as important as saying the right thing. And the way top agents find these people has nothing to do with buying massive generic lists anymore. It's about surgical precision. It's about data. And that's exactly what we're going to break down next. So, let's talk about that surgical precision. For decades, the standard playbook for a new agent was brutally simple. Buy a list, dial for dollars. You'd get a spreadsheet with thousands of names in a specific zip code, maybe filtered by absentee owner, and you just start hammering the phone. The philosophy was, it's a numbers game. And that's not entirely wrong, but it's wildly inefficient. It's like trying to catch a specific type of fish by just throwing dynamite in the ocean. Sure, you might get what you're looking for, but you're going to waste a ton of energy and make a lot of noise in the process. Think about the last generic list you used. How many numbers were disconnected? How many were on the do not call list? How many people answered and said, "We just bought this house 6 months ago. Why are you calling me?" You spend 95% of your time talking to people who have absolutely, positively zero interest, ability, or motivation to sell their home in the next 5 years. You're not prospecting. You're just annoying the general public. Your most valuable asset as an agent isn't your CRM or your fancy headshot. It's your time. And the old way of cold calling is a bonfire for your time. The top 1% of agents, the ones who consistently pull multiple listings a month from proactive outreach, they don't play that game. They've moved from dynamite fishing to spear fishing with laser-guided precision. They aren't trying to find a needle in a haystack. They're using a giant magnet to pull the needle right out. And that magnet is called data stacking. Data stacking is the single biggest differentiator between a struggling agent making 100 calls to get yelled at and a top producer making 20 calls and setting 2 appointments. The concept is simple. Instead of relying on one single weak indicator, like they live in this zip code, you layer multiple, powerful data points on top of each other. Each layer acts as a filter, removing the unmotivated and leaving you with a small, hyper-concentrated list of homeowners who are statistically far more likely to sell. 1 data point is a guess, 2 is a hint, 3 or 4. That's an invitation. So what are these layers? What are these data points? The first and most fundamental is length of ownership. The National Association of Realtors consistently reports that the median number of years a seller lived in their home is around 10. This number fluctuates, but it's a powerful baseline. Life happens in cycles. People buy a starter home, have kids, and after 7 to 10 years they need more space. Or they buy their big family home, the kids grow up and move out, and after 15 to 20 years they're ready to downsize. So, your first filter is simple. Eliminate everyone who has owned their home for less than, say, 7 years. Right there, you've just cut out a massive chunk of the market that was never going to sell anyway. You're no longer calling the family that just moved in and is still figuring out which light switch does what. You're focusing on people who have established roots, built memories, and might just be starting to feel that 7-year itch for a change. The second layer is equity. This is the fuel for the transaction. Someone might want to move, but if they have no equity, they're stuck. They can't afford the closing costs, the down payment on the next place, or the agent's commission. They are, for all intents and purposes, a dead end. But a homeowner with 60, 70, or even 90% equity, they have options. They have freedom. They aren't just homeowners. They're sitting on a pile of tax-advantaged cash locked inside their walls. A call from you isn't an intrusion. It's a potential key to unlocking that wealth. You can filter for high equity by cross-referencing length of ownership with public mortgage data. If someone bought their home 15 years ago and hasn't refinanced in the last 10, you can be almost certain they are sitting on a mountain of equity. Now we have homeowners who have been there a while and have the financial ability to make a move. We're already way ahead of the old model, but now we add the secret sauce. The third layer, life events. These are the catalysts, the triggers. These are the powerful, often emotional, reasons that turn a someday seller into a right now seller. And believe it or not, Many of these events leave a trail of data crumbs in public records. Think about things like divorce. It's a sad reality, but it's one of the top reasons people sell a home. When a couple files for divorce, it becomes a public record. The marital home is often the largest asset and needs to be liquidated. These are highly motivated sellers. Or consider probate. When someone passes away, their estate often goes into probate. If there's a house involved, the heirs who inherit it often have no emotional attachment to living there themselves. They see it as an asset or sometimes a burden that needs to be sold. They live out of state, they don't want to be landlords, they just want to cash out. Again, public record. Highly motivated. Then you have the more obvious distress signals, like a notice of default, which is the first step in the foreclosure process. These homeowners are on a clock. They need to sell to salvage their credit and whatever equity they might have left. These are the classic motivated sellers that investors have targeted for years. But it's not all about distress. There are softer, more subtle life events. Think about empty nesters. You can use demographic data to find homeowners aged 55 and older living in homes with 4 or more bedrooms. The 5-bedroom colonial that was perfect for raising 3 kids is now a cavern of empty rooms to clean and a massive yard to maintain. The desire to downsize, to trade a mortgage for travel, is a powerful motivator. There are other indicators too, like tax delinquency or even code violations from the city for an unkempt lawn. These can signal a tired landlord or an overwhelmed homeowner who is just done with the responsibilities of the property. Now here's where the magic of stacking comes in. Any one of these indicators alone is valuable. A list of everyone who has owned their home for over 10 years is good. A list of probate leads is great. But when you combine them, that's when you find the gold. Imagine this profile. You search for a homeowner who has owned their home for more than 15 years. That's layer 1. Then you filter that list to only show people with over 80% estimated equity. That's layer 2. Now, on top of that, you cross-reference it with demographic data and find the owners are over 60 years old. Empty nesters. Layer 3. And for the final touch, you see a public record that they were recently hit with a city code violation for a broken fence. Layer 4. What have you just found? You've found a couple who has been in their home forever, is sitting on a huge pile of cash, whose kids are gone, and who are now starting to let the property go. This isn't a cold call anymore. This is a strategic intervention. The probability that this person is thinking about, or will soon be thinking about, selling is astronomically higher than just picking a random name out of a phone book. You're no longer a telemarketer. You're a problem solver showing up at the exact moment they're starting to realize they have a problem. You can get this data from a variety of sources. Services like PropStream, BatchLeads, and Forefront are built specifically for this, allowing you to stack these filters and export laser-focused lists. You can also hire a virtual assistant to manually pull data from county public records websites. It's more work, but it's absolutely possible. The point is, this level of intelligence is accessible. So now you have the list. Not a list of 10,000 random homeowners, but a hyper-targeted list of 200 people who have multiple data-backed reasons to consider a move. The who to call problem is solved. You've traded brute force for intelligence. But this leads to the next, and arguably most critical question. You've done all this work to find the perfect person to call. They pick up the phone. What on earth do you say? Because if you blow the first 7 seconds, all that data, all that work was for nothing. And the script for a high-equity empty nester is completely different from the script for someone in pre-foreclosure. That's what we're diving into next. The anatomy of the perfect opening line. So let's build it. The perfect opening line. Forget everything you've been taught about. Hi, my name is Bob with ABC Realty. Is now a good time to talk? That question is a loaded gun pointed directly at your commission check. You are literally asking for a no. You're signaling that you're an interruption, that their time is more valuable than yours, and that you expect to be rejected. The human brain is wired to take the path of least resistance. When you offer an easy no, they will take it 9.9 times out of 10. The goal of the first 7 seconds is not to ask for permission. It's to seize attention. It's to create a pattern interrupt. Every single person in the United States has a mental script for an unwanted phone call. It goes, unrecognized number, hesitant hello, salesperson's chipper voice, hang up. Your job is to rip that script to shreds. The new model, the one that actually works, is built on 3 core pillars: a confident tone, immediate specificity, and an undeniable value proposition. Let's break that down. First, tone. You cannot sound like you're reading a script even if you are. You need to slow down. Speak from your diaphragm. Sound like a consultant, a doctor, a trusted advisor, not a telemarketer desperate for a sale. The easiest way to do this is to stand up when you make your calls. It opens up your airway and naturally projects more confidence. Smile. They can't see it, but they can hear it. Your tone is the packaging for your words. If the packaging looks cheap, they'll assume what's inside is worthless. Second, immediate specificity. This is where your data becomes your weapon. Generic gets you hung up on. Specific gets you a conversation. Never, ever start a call with, "I was calling for the owner of the property." It screams that you have no idea who you're talking to. You should know their name and the property address. The opening line must include the address. So instead of, "Hi, is this Mr. Jones?" you say, "Hi John, my name is Sarah with Keystone Group. I'm calling specifically about your property over at 123 Main Street." Let's dissect that. We used his first name, which is familiar and disarming. We stated our name and company. That's for credibility. But the key phrase is, specifically about your property over at 123 Main Street. That one phrase accomplishes three critical things instantly. It tells them this is not a random robocall. Proves you've done a bare minimum of research, which separates you from 99% of other callers. And most importantly, it triggers a curiosity loop in their brain. Asterisk, what about my property? Is something wrong? Is it worth more than I think? Asterisk, you've stopped them from running their hang-up script because now they have a question they want answered. Now for the third and most important pillar. The undeniable value proposition, or what I call the why I'm calling hook. After you've stated the address, you need to give them a compelling, selfish reason to stay on the phone with you. This is where you leverage the type of lead you're calling. Let's go back to our high-equity empty nester. You've done your research. You know they bought the house 30 years ago for $80,000 and it's now worth $900,000. They have 2 kids who are grown and out of the house. They're likely in their late 50s or 60s. What do they care about? Selling their house? Maybe. But what they really care about is retirement, security, simplicity, and the nest egg they've spent a lifetime building. So your hook has to speak to that, not to your desire to list their home. Here's a script. "Hi Mary, my name is David with Compass. I'm calling specifically about your home on 456 Oak Lane. The reason for my call is that we're seeing longtime homeowners in your neighborhood, many who've been there over 20 years, cash out with an absolutely shocking amount of tax-free equity. A home nearly identical to yours just sold for a price that essentially allows the owners to fund their entire retirement. I had a quick question for you about your property. Let's put that under the microscope. We used the specific address. We established a social proof element. Longtime homeowners in your neighborhood. This makes them feel part of a group, not a target. We used emotionally charged words like shocking amount and fund their entire retirement. We connected the sale of a house not to commissions and open houses, but to their dream, their future. And we ended not with, "Are you looking to sell?" but with a cliffhanger. "I had a quick question for you." Their brain is now screaming. What's the question? You've earned another 30 seconds. Now let's pivot to a completely different lead type. An expired listing. This person is not happy. They're frustrated. They've had their home on the market for 6 months, dealt with dozens of showings, kept the house clean, kicked the dog out every Saturday morning and got nothing. The last thing they want is another optimistic agent promising the world. They're jaded. Your script must acknowledge their pain. Here's the approach. "Hi Bill, my name is Jessica with Keller Williams. I'm calling about your home at 789 Pine Street. I saw it just came off the market. And listen, I'm not calling to give you the same old pitch about how I can sell your home. Frankly, I can only imagine how frustrating this process has been for you. The reason I'm calling is that I specialize in homes that didn't sell the first time around, and after reviewing your previous listing, I think I've identified the one specific reason it likely didn't get the offers you deserved. I just wanted to share that one piece of feedback with you. No strings attached." See the difference? The tone is empathetic, not sleazy. You start by validating their feelings. "I can only imagine how frustrating this has been." You create a gap between you and all the other agents by saying, "I'm not calling to give you the same old pitch." You establish yourself as an expert, a specialist for their exact problem. And the hook is irresistible. You're not asking for the listing. You're offering a single piece of valuable free information that explains their failure. Who wouldn't want to know that? You've shifted from salesperson to problem solver. Finally, let's tackle the most delicate one. A pre-foreclosure lead. Calling these homeowners is walking on eggshells. They are stressed, scared, and possibly ashamed. The standard buy or sell real estate approach is a nuclear bomb here. It's not just ineffective, it's cruel. You must be a helper first and agent second. Your goal is not to list their home. It's to provide solutions. Here's a script built on sensitivity. Hi Samantha, my name is Michael. I'm a local real estate specialist who helps homeowners navigate difficult financial situations. I'm calling about the property at 111 Maple Drive. The reason I'm reaching out is that I've found that many people in your position aren't aware of all the options available to them. Options that can often prevent foreclosure, protect their credit, and sometimes even allow them to walk away with cash. I've prepared a confidential, no-cost guide that outlines these alternatives, and I wanted to see if I could get that information over to you. Let's break it down. Notice I didn't say my brokerage. At this stage, a big brand name can sound corporate and predatory. Michael sounds like a person. Local real estate specialist who helps homeowners navigate difficult financial situations is my entire job description. It's not about sales, it's about help. The hook isn't about listing their home. It's about providing a free guide with options. You are offering a lifeline, a source of information in a time of uncertainty. You're offering hope. The call to action isn't let's meet. It's let me send you this free, helpful thing. This is how you build trust from a position of zero. In all three examples, the structure is the same. Confident tone, immediate specificity with the address, and a value hook tailored to their specific emotional and financial situation. You're not asking if they want to sell. You're not asking if it's a good time. You're making a confident, specific statement that offers immediate value and creates a powerful sense of curiosity. You're changing the game from a numbers game of, how many people can I call? To a strategy game of, how many conversations can I start? Because that's the only goal of the opening line, to start a real conversation. But once you've done that, once you've delivered your perfect opener and they haven't hung up, what comes next is the first line of defense. The knee-jerk reaction. The objection that 80% of homeowners will give you, no matter how good your opener was. And how you handle that one sentence will determine if the call ends in 30 seconds, or if it ends with an appointment. So what is that sentence? It's 4 simple words. We're not looking to sell. Sometimes it's, I'm not interested. Or we're happy here. It doesn't matter how they phrase it. The intent is identical. It's a conversational door slam. It's the homeowner deploying their standard, pre-programmed response to any and all unsolicited calls. And your job in that split second is not to argue with it, not to challenge it, but to sidestep it with such grace that they barely notice you did it. First, let's get inside their head. Why do they say this? Are they lying? Maybe. But most of the time, it's not a calculated lie. It's a reflex. It's the same reflex that makes you say no thanks just looking when a retail employee asks if you need help, even if you desperately need help finding your size. It's a defense mechanism. They're busy. They've been conditioned by a lifetime of terrible sales calls to believe that the only way to end the conversation is with a hard no. They don't know you. They don't trust you. And in the first 10 seconds, they haven't yet understood the value you're bringing. So they throw up the shield. Not interested. The fatal mistake that 99% of agents make is they try to smash the shield. They hear not interested, and they immediately go into rebuttal mode. They say things like, oh, but are you sure? The market is incredible right now. You could get a huge price for your home. What does the homeowner hear? They hear, you're wrong and I'm going to prove it to you. Their shield goes up even higher. They dig their heels in. Another common mistake is the immediate weak pivot. Okay, well, do you know anyone else who might be thinking of selling? What does the homeowner hear? They hear desperation. They hear that you have no real value to offer them, so you're already looking for your next target. The call is over. You've lost. You cannot win a fight against a knee-jerk reaction. You can't use logic to defeat an emotional shield. Trying to convince them they are interested when they just said they're not is like telling someone who's angry to just calm down. It has the exact opposite effect. So what do? We don't try to break the shield. We don't even acknowledge the shield is a real obstacle. We use a technique I call the pattern interrupt. Their brain is running a script, an anti-salesperson script. Our job is to introduce a line so unexpected that their brain has to pause the script and actually listen to what we're saying. The framework is simple. It's 3 steps. Acknowledge and agree, reframe the purpose and pivot to value. RP. Acknowledge, reframe, pivot. Let's break it down. Step 1. Acknowledge and agree. This is the most counterintuitive and most powerful step. When they say, "We're not interested in selling," your response must be one of complete agreement. You need to instantly align with them. Phrases like, "That's perfectly fine. I completely understand. Great. Then you're exactly the person I was hoping to speak with." Or my personal favorite, "Excellent. I'm not asking you to." Think about the psychology of this. They've just thrown a punch, and instead of blocking it or punching back, you've completely sidestepped and agreed with the force of their blow. Their brain short-circuits for a nanosecond. They were expecting a fight, an argument, a rebuttal. Instead, they got agreement. You're on their team. The tension immediately dissipates. Their shield lowers just a crack because you're no longer a threat. You've validated their position. You've made them feel heard. This buys you another 5 to 10 seconds of their undivided attention, which is all you need for the next step. Step 2. Reframe the purpose. Now that you have their momentary attention, you redefine the reason for your call. You reveal that their assumption about your call was wrong. They thought you were calling to get a listing today. You need to show them you were calling for a much more valuable, less threatening reason. You say your line of agreement, and you immediately follow it with the reframe. So it sounds like this: "That's perfectly fine. And to be honest, the reason for my call wasn't to see if you wanted to put a for sale sign in the yard this afternoon." Or, "I completely understand. And I wasn't calling to try and twist your arm into selling." This reframe creates massive curiosity. The homeowner is thinking, "Wait a minute. If he's not calling to get me to sell, then why is he calling?" You've successfully interrupted their pattern. Their anti-salesperson script is now useless because you've just demonstrated you're not the salesperson they thought you were. They are now leaning in, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that brings us to step 3, pivot to value. This is where you deliver the payload. This is where you connect back to the specific, tangible piece of information you prepared before the call. This is your reason for the call. That is not about them selling today. It's about providing them with valuable market intelligence that they would not otherwise have. It's about being a resource, not a salesman. Let's put all 3 pieces of the ARP method together. The phone rings. The homeowner says, "Hello." You give your opener. They immediately say, "Sorry, we're not interested in selling." Your response, without missing a beat: "I totally understand. Acknowledge and agree. And frankly, the reason for my call wasn't to ask you to sell your home today." Reframe the purpose. "I was calling because your neighbor's home at 123 Main Street just sold for $100,000 over the asking price. And it's created a new unofficial ceiling for home values in the neighborhood. I was simply calling the homeowners on your street to share what that new number is, because it's information I believe you have a right to know. Would you be curious to hear what that figure is for a home like yours?" Pivot to value. Let's do another one. Homeowner: "We're happy here, we're not moving." You: "That's great to hear, and I hope you stay for a long time." Acknowledge and agree. "My goal wasn't to try and get you to move." Reframe the purpose. The situation is, we have a number of qualified buyers who missed out on that home that just sold down the street, and they're specifically looking for a floor plan just like yours in this exact area. Part of my job is to simply keep a pulse on the neighborhood and ask homeowners if, for the absolute perfect top dollar price, they might ever be tempted. I was just calling to let you know what that temptation number currently is." Pivot to value. Do you see the difference? In both scenarios, you're not arguing. You're not selling. You're informing. You're a provider of exclusive information. You've changed your role from pesky telemarketer to local market expert. The conversation has completely shifted from their defense of no to their curiosity about, "What's the number?" Now, what if they're still a little hesitant? You can layer in one more technique here, and it's incredibly powerful. It's called future pacing. This involves asking a hypothetical question that gets them to think beyond their current reality. You've given them the value, they're listening, but they might say something like, "Well, that's an interesting number, but like I said, we're not moving." This is your cue. You say, "I get it. But just out of curiosity, if you were to make a move in the next 5 years, where would you see your family going next?" This question is pure gold. It's a pattern interrupt within a pattern interrupt. It's disarming because it's not about right now. It's a safe, hypothetical question about the future. But what it does is it gets them to dream. It gets them to access the part of their brain that thinks about their goals, their aspirations. They might say, well, we've always talked about moving closer to the grandkids in Texas. Or I'd love to have a place with a bigger yard. Boom. You just went from not interested to learning their deepest motivation for a potential future move. You're no longer a real estate agent. You're a life transition consultant. The entire dynamic of the call has been transformed. You've successfully disarmed the bomb. You've broken through the wall. They're listening. But now comes the most delicate part of the entire call. Turning that flicker of curiosity into a concrete meeting in your calendar. And the words you choose in the next 60 seconds are the difference between a maybe someday and a how's Thursday at 4? This is the moment of truth. You've established rapport, you've provided a nugget of value, and you've piqued their interest. Now you have to bridge the gap from a pleasant phone call to a productive meeting. The biggest mistake agents make right here is asking a weak, permission-based question. They say things like, so, would you be interested in meeting sometime? Or, do you think it would be a good idea if I stopped by? These questions are invitations for a no. They scream uncertainty and put all the pressure on the homeowner to make a decision they aren't ready to make. You need to do the opposite. You need to assume the meeting is the next logical step. You're not asking if they want to meet. You're asking when is most convenient. This is a subtle but monumentally important psychological shift. You are the expert, the doctor, the consultant. A doctor doesn't say, would you be interested in me telling you the test results? They say, let's book a follow-up to go over the results. Does Tuesday or Wednesday work better for you? You need to adopt that same professional confidence. The transition sounds like this. You've just told them that 3 homes sold in their neighborhood in the last 30 days. They say, oh wow, I didn't realize it was that active. You reply with the pivot. Exactly. The data is changing so fast right now that what was true last month is ancient history today. Look, I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow afternoon, and again on Thursday morning. I could pop by for 15 minutes to show you a neighborhood equity report I've prepared. It'll break down exactly what those sales mean for your home's value. Specifically, which of those times would be less of an interruption for you? Let's break down why that works. First, I'm going to be in your neighborhood anyway. This is a classic technique that lowers the barrier. It implies convenience and reduces the feeling that they are a special high-pressure trip. It feels casual, not desperate. Second, you gave it a specific, valuable name, a neighborhood equity report. It's not a CMA or a listing presentation. Those terms sound like sales and commitment. A report sounds like data, information, and value they get to keep. Something for them. Third, you define the time commitment. 15 minutes. This is critical. Nobody wants to commit to an hour-long sales pitch from a stranger. But 15 minutes? Most people spend more time than that deciding what to watch on Netflix. It's a low-risk, easy yes. Finally, you gave them an either/or choice. Tomorrow afternoon or Thursday morning. You didn't ask, when are you free? Which is an open-ended question that invites them to say, never. You gave them 2 specific options, which makes their brain focus on choosing between A and B, not between yes and no. Now, this is where you face the gauntlet of objections. Even with a perfect setup, human nature is to resist. Your ability to navigate these next few responses with grace and confidence will determine your success rate. The number 1 objection you'll hear is, that's okay, I'm not looking to sell right now. This is the default response. It's a knee-jerk reaction. The amateur agent hears this and says, oh, okay, well, can I call you back in 6 months? And hangs up. The pro understands this isn't a hard no. It's a statement of fact that you can agree with. Your response should be calm, agreeable, and immediately reframe the purpose of the meeting. Oh, I completely understand. To be clear, this isn't about me trying to convince you to sell. Honestly, that would be a waste of both of our time if you're not ready. This is purely informational. My job is to be the information source for the neighborhood. Think of me like a stockbroker. You wouldn't only talk to your stockbroker when you're ready to sell your stocks, right? You talk to them to stay informed on your investment. Your home is likely your largest asset. My goal is just to give you a 15-minute annual checkup, so you know exactly where your investment stands in today's market. So, would Thursday at 10 or Friday at 2 be better for that quick review? See what happened there. You agreed with them, which disarms them. You explicitly stated it's not a sales call, which alleviates their primary fear. You used a powerful analogy, the stockbroker, which frames you as a financial advisor, not a pushy salesperson. and then you went right back to the either slash or close. You didn't let their objection derail the train. You simply acknowledged it and kept moving forward. The second most common objection is the classic brush off. Can you just email me the information? This is a test. They want to see if you'll just fold and go away. Sending an email is a black hole. It has a 0% chance of turning into a client. You must hold the line here, but you have to do it by explaining why an email is a disservice to them. Here's the script. You know, I would, but honestly, an email would be doing you a huge disservice. The data in a report like this is almost impossible to understand without context. It's just a bunch of numbers and addresses. It won't show you the nuance, like why one home sold for $25,000 more than the identical one next door because of a few specific updates, or how the current buyer demand in your specific price range is affecting negotiation power. The entire value is in the 10 or 15 minutes it takes me to walk you through it and answer your specific questions. Otherwise, it's like getting a blood test result from a lab without a doctor to interpret it for you. It just creates more questions than answers. I promise to be in and out in 15 minutes flat. Would tomorrow at 4 p.m. be better? Or should we stick with Thursday morning? This is a masterclass in value building. You didn't say, no, I can't. You said, I won't do you that disservice. You positioned the in-person meeting as the only way to get the real value. You created intrigue by hinting at specific, valuable insights they can't get from a piece of paper or a Zillow estimate. The doctor analogy again positions you as the expert whose interpretation is essential. You're not withholding information. You're ensuring it's delivered properly. The third objection is a trap. Well, can you just give me a ballpark of what my house is worth over the phone? They are trying to get the milk without buying the cow. If you give them a number, the call is over. And worse, if you give them a number without seeing the property, you have zero credibility. You could be wildly wrong in either direction and you'll look like a fool. You must deflect this and use it as the very reason for the meeting. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, any agent who gives you a number over the phone without seeing your home is either lying or lazy. It would be like a car appraiser giving you a price without ever seeing the car. Have you done any updates to the kitchen or bathrooms in the last 5 years? How's the condition of the roof? The flooring? All of these things can swing the value by tens, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The only way for me to give you a truly accurate, responsible number is for me to see it with my own 2 eyes. That's exactly why I just need 15 minutes to pop by. I'll take a quick look and I can give you a real actionable number, not a wild guess. So, would tomorrow or Thursday be better for that? You've turned their question into your closing argument. You've established your professionalism, subtly disqualified your competition, and made the in-person visit the logical and necessary next step to answering the very question they asked. Mastering these 3 objection handlers, I'm not ready, just email it, and give me a price now, will fundamentally change your cold calling. You stop seeing them as rejection and start seeing them as opportunities. They are predictable hurdles in a race you know how to run. Each time you hear one, you don't panic. You calmly execute the script you've practiced, a script designed to build trust, demonstrate value, and gently, professionally guide them to the one and only goal of the call, setting that short, low-threat, high-value appointment. Once that meeting is in the calendar, the entire dynamic shifts. You're no longer a cold voice on the phone. You're a scheduled consultant they've agreed to meet. And that transition from prospect to scheduled appointment is the single biggest leap you can make in building your real estate empire. So, how do you make that leap? How do you transform from an anonymous voice into that trusted, scheduled consultant? It happens in the first 7 seconds of the call. The average person receives dozens of spam calls a week. Their brain is hardwired to detect a sales pitch and immediately throw up a defensive wall. Your first job is not to sell real estate. It's to shatter that pattern. This is called a pattern interrupt. You have to sound and act completely different from every other person who has ever cold called them. Forget the overly cheerful, "Hi, is this Mr. Jones? My name is Bill from Prestige Worldwide Realty, and I was just calling to see if you've had any thoughts of selling your beautiful home." Dead on arrival. That script screams, commission breath telemarketer. The wall goes up, the phone goes down. You've lost before you've even started. The modern effective cold call is a surgical strike. It's built on a foundation of calm confidence, specific information, and genuine curiosity. Let's dissect the anatomy of a call that actually works. It has 3 core parts: the disarming opener, the value-driven hook, and the qualifying pivot. First, the disarming opener. Your goal here is to be low energy, direct, and slightly apologetic. Sounds counterintuitive, but it works. Try this. Hi, John. This is Mike. I'm a local real estate agent. I know this call is completely out of the blue, so I'll be brief. Let's break that down. Hi, John. You use their first name as a question. It's familiar and prompts an immediate response. This is Mike. You don't give your last name or your brokerage yet. It's too much information and feels corporate. You're just a person calling another person. I'm a local real estate agent. You state your profession clearly and concisely. No fluff. I know this call is completely out of the blue. This is the magic phrase. You are acknowledging the interruption. You're validating their potential annoyance. This lowers their defenses because you've just said what they were thinking. You're on their side. So I'll be brief. You're respecting their time. In one sentence, you've gone from being a potential pest to a considerate professional. Next, you move immediately into the value-driven hook. This is your reason for calling, and it cannot be about you. It has to be about them, their property, or their neighborhood. It must be specific. Specificity builds credibility. Instead of a generic, I'm calling people in the area, try. The reason for my call is a home just down the street from you, at 456 Oak Avenue, just sold for a record price, and it's caused a lot of homeowners to wonder what their property is now worth. I was just calling to see if you'd received an updated equity analysis in the last 60 days. See the difference? You're not asking if they want to sell. You're providing a piece of market intelligence and offering something of value, an equity analysis. Another powerful hook is the buyer in tow script, but you have to be ethical here. Only use it if it's true. The reason for my call is I'm working with a pre-approved family who missed out on the home on Oak Avenue, and they're determined to buy in your specific neighborhood in the next 30 days. Your home came up as a potential fit, and I was just calling to see if you'd ever be open to an off-market offer if the price and terms were right. This is compelling. It's not a hypothetical question about selling someday. It's a tangible opportunity right now. Finally, you execute the qualifying pivot. Once you've delivered the hook, you listen. Their response will tell you everything. If they're interested, you pivot to qualifying questions. These are gentle probes to uncover their motivation and timeline. Questions like, I'm curious, have you folks had any thoughts about making a move in the next year or two? Or, if you did sell, where would be the next dream location for you? Notice these questions are open-ended. They invite a story, not a yes or no answer. This is where you transition from a caller to a conversationalist. But what if they hit you with an objection? This is the moment of truth. This is where 90% of agents crumble, and where the top 10% make their money. You must be prepared for the 3 big objections. I'm not interested. I already have an agent. And how did you get my number? Let's role play. They say, I'm not interested. The amateur says, okay. Thank you for your time, goodbye. The pro says, I completely understand, and to be honest, I expected you to say that. Most people I talk to aren't looking to move tomorrow. My goal isn't to convince you to sell. It's simply to introduce myself as a local resource. So, when that day does come, whether it's 1 year from now or 10, you have a professional you can call. Would it be okay if I sent you a market update for your neighborhood once a quarter? Just to keep you informed. You didn't fight the objection. You agreed with it and pivoted to a low-threat offer. You're playing the long game. Second objection. I already have an agent. This is often a smokescreen. The amateur says, oh, okay, sorry to bother you. The pro says, that's fantastic. It's smart to have a relationship with a professional in this market. Out of curiosity, are you 100% committed to using them? Or would you be open to a second opinion on your home's value when the time comes? After all, a little competition never hurts when you're talking about your biggest asset. You showed respect for their choice while simultaneously planting a seed of doubt and positioning yourself as a competitive alternative. And the third, the dreaded, how did you get my number? An aggressive or defensive answer here kills the call instantly. The pro is calm, transparent, and confident. That's a fair question. I use a combination of public property records and data services available to licensed real estate professionals. My intention is never to intrude. It's just the most direct way I have of reaching out to homeowners in an area where the market is incredibly active to make sure they have the most up-to-date information. You're honest, professional, and you pivot right back to the value you're providing. You're not a scammer. You're a licensed expert doing your job. Mastering these scripts and objection handlers is not about being a robot. It's about internalizing the framework so you can be fluid and natural in the conversation. It's like learning the chords on a guitar. Once you know them by heart, you can start to improvise and make music. These scripts are your chords. They give you the structure to navigate any conversation, to absorb the initial no, and to gracefully guide the homeowner towards a point of curiosity. Because every "no, I'm not selling" is often just a "not right now." And your job on that first call isn't to get a listing. It's to earn the right to have the next conversation. It's to be the person they think of 6 months from now when their neighbor's house sells for a crazy price and a little voice in their head asks, "I wonder what ours is worth?" You've already positioned yourself to be the answer. This is the subtle art of turning a cold interruption into a warm future opportunity. But how do you manage this? How do you keep track of hundreds, maybe thousands of these, maybe someday conversations without letting them fall through the cracks? Because a lead that isn't tracked is a lead that doesn't exist. This is where the amateurs drop the ball and the professionals build empires. It's not about having a great memory or a stack of sticky notes. It's about building a machine that remembers everything so you don't have to. Welcome to the architecture of a modern follow-up system. This isn't just a good idea. In today's market, it's the entire game. Your single most valuable asset besides your license is your database. And a cold calling list is not a database. It's just a list of strangers. Your job is to systematically turn that list of strangers into a curated database of future clients. The heart of this machine is your CRM, your customer relationship management software. And if you're thinking a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet is good enough, let me stop you right there. That's like trying to build a skyscraper with a hot glue gun. It might hold for a day, but it's going to collapse. A real CRM is your command center. It's your second brain. It's the tool that allows you to have 1,000 personalized conversations at scale. When you finish a call, the work has just begun. Inside your CRM, every single contact needs to be tagged, categorized, and have a next step assigned. This is non-negotiable. You're not just logging a call. You're plotting a journey. Let's break down a simple but brutally effective categorization system. Every person you speak to can be sorted into one of 4 buckets. Bucket number 1, the A leads. These are your hot potatoes. These are the people who said, "Yes, we're thinking of selling in the next 30 to 90 days. Your follow-up here is aggressive, immediate, and relentless. You're setting an appointment for a listing presentation, you're sending them a pre-listing package, you're calling them back in 2 days to confirm they got it." The goal with an A lead is to get a signature on a listing agreement. Period. Bucket number 2, the B leads. These are your warm prospects. They say something like, "Probably in the spring," or "We're thinking about it in the next 3 to 6 months. These are the leads that make or break your year. The follow-up here is consistent but value-based. You're not calling every other day asking, "Are you ready yet?" That's amateur hour. Instead, you're positioning yourself as the undeniable expert. You put them on a 21-day or 30-day follow-up plan. The first touch might be a text. "Hey John, great speaking with you. Here's a link to my free home valuation tool I mentioned." A week later, an email. "Just wanted to share a market update for your zip code. We're seeing some interesting trends." 2 weeks after that, a call. "Hey John, just calling to check in. I saw a house down the street from you just sold for an incredible price. Thought you'd find that interesting. How's the planning going?" You are a resource, not a pest. Bucket number 3, the C leads. This is the long game. This is where fortunes are made. These are the people who said, "Maybe in a year or 2. Or "We're not sure, but we'll eventually move." Most agents hear this and throw the lead in the trash. The top 1% hears this and sees a future commission check. These leads go onto a long-term nurture campaign. They get a monthly email newsletter with market stats and home tips. They get a text message maybe once a quarter when something significant happens in their neighborhood. "Hey Sarah, a new listing just hit the market at 123 Main Street with a pool just like you were talking about. Thought you'd like to see the photos." You are staying top of mind without any pressure for months or even years. You are the friendly, knowledgeable real estate expert in their phone. So when a year or 2 suddenly becomes next month, because of a job change or a new baby, who are they going to call? The random agent whose postcard they just got? Or the person who has been professionally and helpfully in touch for the last 18 months? It's not even a contest. And finally, bucket number 4, the D leads. These are the not nows or never. They just refinanced, they just bought the house last year, or they told you to take them off your list. Respect it, but don't delete them. Tag them as do not call, but keep them in the database. Why? Because life happens. The person who just refinanced might get a massive job offer in another state 6 months from now. You can put them on a very, very slow drip, maybe a once-a-year happy house adversary email. It's a tiny no-cost effort that can, on rare occasions, yield a shocking return. This system, BCD, is the foundation. It turns chaos into order. It ensures no opportunity is wasted. But the system only works if you fuel it with the right kind of communication. And that fuel is value. Every single time you reach out to a B lead or a C lead, you must be giving something. We call these value bombs. A follow-up call just to check in or touch base is worthless. It's a withdrawal from the relationship bank account. A value bomb is a deposit. What does a value bomb look like? It could be a text with a link to a newly listed home in their area. It could be a short, personalized video message sent via email. Hey Tom and Mary, I was just previewing a home and the kitchen remodel reminded me of what you said you wanted to do. Check this out. It could be an email with a PDF guide you created. The 5 biggest mistakes home sellers make in a shifting market. It could be an invitation to a free webinar you're hosting. Think about the psychology here. You're not the annoying salesperson chasing a commission. You are the trusted advisor, the market insider who provides valuable information for free. You are operating on the law of reciprocity. You give and you give and you give. So when the time comes for them to make the single largest financial decision of their lives, you are not one of the options. You are the only option. Let's make this even more practical. What do these follow-up calls actually sound like? For a B lead you haven't spoken to in 45 days, it might be, Hey Jessica, it's Mike, the real estate agent from XYZ Realty. We spoke back in March about your plans to potentially move this summer. I'm not calling to put you on the spot, but I was pulling the latest numbers for your neighborhood and they were honestly pretty surprising. Homes are selling faster than we expected. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up as you continue your planning. Has anything changed on your end? Notice the structure. You remind them who you are, you reference the previous conversation, you immediately lower their guard by saying, I'm not calling to put you on the spot. You provide a piece of valuable information, and then you ask an open-ended question. It's soft, it's professional, and it reopens the conversation. For a C lead, a 6-month check-in might be even softer. Hey David, it's Mike from XYZ Realty. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I know you said you were thinking long-term, but a home just sold around the corner from you for a price that I think effectively raises the value of every other house on the block, including yours. I'll text you the link to the listing so you can see the photos. No need to call me back. Just wanted to keep you informed. Have a great week. That is a powerful zero-pressure touchpoint. You've just demonstrated your expertise, provided concrete value, and asked for absolutely nothing in return. You are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. This entire machine is powered by technology. Your triple-line dialer gets you through the initial calls with ruthless efficiency. Your CRM acts as the brain, organizing and scheduling every future interaction. And an email marketing service like a MailChimp or a Constant Contact automates your long-term nurture campaigns, sending your monthly newsletters to thousands of C leads while you sleep. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Isn't this annoying? Am I not just bothering people? This is the single biggest mental hurdle that stops agents from building a pipeline. And the answer comes down to one word: intent. If your intent is to hound, harass, and pressure someone into a sale, then yes, you are annoying. The homeowner can feel that commission breath through the phone. But if your intent is to serve, to inform, and to provide genuine, no-strings-attached value, you are not an annoyance. You are a welcome resource. You're the person who gives them the inside scoop on their most valuable asset. The fear of being annoying is a projection of your own insecurity about the value you bring. When you truly believe that the information you possess is valuable, you'll feel compelled to share it. You're not a pushy salesperson. You're an educator and advisor, a market expert delivering critical intelligence. The entire dynamic shifts. You go from a cold caller to a hot commodity. You've built the system. You've mastered the scripts. You've adopted the mindset of a value provider. You're making the calls, categorizing the leads, and scheduling your follow-ups. You are doing everything right. But then you hit the wall. The endless stream of no's. The hang-ups, the occasional rude remark. How do you build the mental armor to withstand the sheer volume of rejection that is an unavoidable part of this process? How do you stay motivated when 98 out of 100 doors are slammed in your face? Because mastering the system is one thing. Mastering your own psychology is the final and most difficult piece of the puzzle. The battle is won or lost between your ears before you even pick up the phone. You can have the perfect script, the most accurate data, and the smoothest delivery, but if your mindset isn't bulletproof, you will fail. It's that simple. So, how do you build that psychological armor? How do you become impervious to the negativity and rejection? First, you must fundamentally redefine what rejection is. We are socially wired to fear it. From our earliest days, being rejected by the tribe meant death. That instinct is still buried deep inside us. When someone on the phone says, no, or hangs up on you, that ancient part of your brain screams, danger. Your body floods with cortisol. Your confidence plummets. But you are not on the savannah anymore. A no on a cold call is not a threat to your survival. In fact, it's the opposite. It is a necessary ingredient for your success. You have to shift your perspective from seeking acceptance to sorting for opportunity. You are not calling to be liked. You are not calling to make friends. You are a prospector panning for gold. Most of what you scoop up will be dirt, sand, and gravel. You don't get angry at the gravel. You don't take it personally. You simply discard it and scoop up the next panful, because you know the gold is in there somewhere. Every no is just a piece of gravel you've successfully identified and discarded. It's not a failure. It's a successful act of sorting. It means you are one step closer to the gold. When you truly internalize this, the emotional sting of rejection vanishes. A hang-up doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like efficiency. Great, you think. They just saved me 2 minutes. Next. The second key is to completely detach your ego from the outcome. Your self-worth as a human being and a real estate professional has absolutely nothing to do with whether a random person on a list who doesn't know you agrees to a meeting. You must separate the activity from the result. Your job is not to get a yes. Your job is to make the calls. It's a subtle but profound difference. Set process-based goals, not outcome-based goals. An outcome-based goal is, I'm going to get 1 listing appointment today. The problem is, you don't have 100% control over that. What if you happen to call a list of people who are all having a bad day? You could do everything perfectly and still fail to meet your goal, leaving you feeling defeated. A process-based goal is, I'm going to have 25 meaningful conversations today. Or, I'm going to make 100 dials and speak for a total of 60 minutes. You have 100% control over that. You can achieve that goal every single day regardless of the outcome. By hitting your process goals day after day, you build a success habit. You feel a sense of accomplishment and victory every single time you sit down to call, because you're achieving exactly what you set out to do. The appointments and the listings, they become the inevitable byproduct of your consistent, disciplined process, not the goal itself. Next, you have to build your rejection muscle. Just like lifting weights, the first few sessions are the most painful. The first 50 no's you get in a week will feel crushing. But the 51st one, it hurts a little less. The 100th one, you barely notice. By the 1000th no, you're so desensitized it's like water off a duck's back. You must intentionally expose yourself to that rejection in controlled doses to build up your tolerance. Many top coaches recommend starting your day by trying to get your first 10 no's as fast as you possibly can. It turns it into a game and rips the band-aid off immediately. You're not dreading the rejection. You're actively seeking it out to get it over with. To make this entire process sustainable, you need to implement rituals. Humans are creatures of habit, and rituals can trick our brains into a state of high performance. Develop a pre-call power-up ritual. This isn't just sitting down and starting to dial. This is a deliberate 5 to 10 minute routine to get your mind right. It could be listening to an energizing song. It could be watching a short motivational video. It could be reviewing your written goals and visualizing your success. One top producer I know stands in front of a mirror and does the power pose for 2 minutes before every single call session, because studies have shown it can actually increase testosterone and decrease cortisol. It doesn't matter what your ritual is, but you must have one. It signals to your brain, it's game time. Equally important is a post-call wind-down ritual. After 2 or 3 hours of intense calling, you can't just carry that energy, and potentially that negativity, into the rest of your day or into your family life. You need a hard reset. Go for a walk. Hit the gym for 30 minutes. Meditate. Read a chapter of a book completely unrelated to real estate. This ritual cleanses the palate. It allows you to close the loop on the prospecting session and transition back into the other parts of your life, mentally fresh and available. Without this, the stress and rejection will compound, and you'll inevitably burn out. Finally, and this is the bedrock of it all, your why has to be stronger than their no. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself through this uncomfortable, often thankless process? If your answer is to make some money, you will quit. I guarantee it. That's not a powerful enough reason to endure this level of rejection. Your why has to be something so deeply important to you that it makes all the struggle worthwhile. Is it to give your children a life you never had? Is it to pay for your parents' medical care? Is it to achieve total financial freedom so you never have to answer to a boss again? Is it to build a legacy? You need to have that reason written down. You need to have it taped to your computer monitor. You need to have a picture of it, your kids, your dream house, a vacation spot, right in front of you while you're making calls. Because on that day when you're on call 79 and you've gotten 79 no's, when your voice is raw and your spirit is weak, you're not going to make that 80th call for a commission check. You're going to look at that picture of your family, and you're going to pick up the phone for them. That is the fuel that will get you through the fire. Mastering your psychology isn't about affirmations and positive thinking. It's about building robust systems, reframing your perspective, and connecting with a purpose so profound that it makes you unstoppable. It's about transforming cold calling from a dreaded chore into a professional discipline, a craft that you hone every single day. Once you have conquered the system and you have conquered your own mind, there's only one piece left. How do you take this old-school brute force tactic and fuse it with the technology and leverage of the modern world? Because when you combine the unshakable mindset of a classic prospector with the tools of the 21st century, you don't just create a lead generation pillar. You create an empire. So what does that empire actually look like? It's not a room full of agents chained to desks, dialing from a phone book. It's a sleek, intelligent, and deeply human operation, powered by a new trinity of success: data, technology, and empathy. Let's break down the blueprint. First, the foundation of this empire is no longer the phone book. It's data. The modern prospector doesn't just buy a list of numbers. They invest in intelligent data. Services like Vulcan 7, RedX, or Cole Information aren't just selling you contact info. They're selling you insights. They're giving you lists of expireds, for sale by owners, and circle prospecting data layered with demographic information, property history, and sometimes even predictive analytics suggesting who is most likely to move next. Think about the power of that. Instead of calling 1,000 random numbers hoping for a needle in a haystack, you're calling 100 highly curated contacts who have a statistically higher probability of needing your services. You're not guessing anymore. You're targeting. The gold isn't in the phone. It's in the list. A mediocre caller with a great list will always outperform a great caller with a terrible list. Second, you arm yourself with the right technology. The weapon of choice is no longer a simple handset. It's an intelligent dialing system integrated with a powerful CRM. A triple-line dialer isn't just about making more calls per hour, though that efficiency is a game changer. Modern systems are so much more. They can pre-record voicemails that you drop with a single click, saving you minutes on every non-answer. They automatically log every call attempt, every conversation, every outcome directly into your CRM. But here's where it gets truly futuristic. Some platforms now use AI to analyze your calls. They listen to your tone, your pacing, your talk-to-listen ratio, and give you objective feedback on how to improve. Imagine having a world-class sales coach listening to every call and giving you notes. That technology exists right now. And that CRM? It's not a glorified spreadsheet. It is the central nervous system of your entire operation. It's where a contact from a cold call becomes a client for life. When you hang up the phone with someone who says, "Call me in 6 months," you don't just put a note on a calendar. You drop them into an automated 6-month nurture campaign. They immediately get a thank you email. 2 weeks later, they get your latest market report. A month after that, they see a targeted social media ad from you about home valuations. Every touch point is tracked, automated, and optimized. The system works for you, ensuring that the seeds you plant on the phone today are watered, nurtured, and harvested at exactly the right time, without a single lead ever falling through the cracks. The third and most crucial element is empathy, executed through modern reconnaissance. Before you dial, you do a 30-second digital deep dive. You're not being a stalker. You're being a professional. Look them up on LinkedIn. Check their Facebook profile. Do they have kids? Do they love dogs? Did they go to the same college as you? You are searching for a single point of human connection. Because when you open the call not with a generic script but with, "Hi John, my name is Sarah. I know this is random, but I saw on LinkedIn we're both alumni of Ohio State. Go Bucks! The reason I was calling was actually about your property on Elm Street. You have instantly shattered the pattern of a typical cold call. You've transformed from an anonymous salesperson into a real person with a potential shared connection. You've moved the call from ice cold to lukewarm in under 10 seconds. This brings us to the script itself. The old way of cold calling relied on rigid robotic scripts that made agents sound like they were reading from a teleprompter. That is dead. The script for the modern empire is not a script at all. It's a framework. It's a series of strategic questions and value propositions designed to open a conversation, not to deliver a monologue. The goal is to be a doctor, not a salesperson. You're there to diagnose, not to prescribe. You ask questions. What do you love about your neighborhood? If you were to move, what would be the one thing you'd be looking for in a new home? Have you ever wondered what a buyer in this current market might be willing to pay for a home like yours? You're leading with curiosity, not a commission. You're offering value, a market insight, a recent comp, a piece of information, before you ever ask for anything in return. And this is the final, most powerful piece of the puzzle. This is where it all comes together. Cold calling in the 21st century is no longer a standalone activity. It is the catalyst for an omni-channel marketing machine. It's the tip of the spear. Here's how it works. You make the call. The homeowner says they're not interested in selling right now. The old school agent says, "Okay, thanks, bye." And the lead is lost forever. The new school agent says, "I completely understand. It's a big decision. Would you mind if I just sent you a one-page, no-strings-attached report on what homes are selling for in your specific neighborhood? Just so you have it for your records." 9 times out of 10 they say yes. Boom. You now have their name, address, phone number, and a valid email address. They are immediately entered into your CRM. They start getting your monthly email newsletter. They start seeing your face in targeted ads on Facebook and Instagram, geo-targeted to their specific zip code. They see your YouTube videos breaking down the local market. They get a postcard from you in the mail 3 months from now. So when, 8 months later, a life event happens, a new baby, a job transfer, an empty nest, and they finally think, maybe we should sell. Who are they going to call? The random agent whose flyer they just threw in the trash? Or the one professional who has been consistently and respectfully showing up in their email, on their social media, and in their mailbox for the better part of a year, providing value every step of the way? The agent who first made contact not with a desperate plea for business, but with a simple professional phone call. The cold call didn't get you the listing. The cold call opened the door. It was the first domino. It was the handshake that started the relationship that your systems then nurtured into a commission. So let's go back to the original question. Is cold calling still effective? No, not in its old form. The act of mindlessly smiling and dialing strangers with a selfish, canned pitch is dead. And frankly, good riddance. It was a brutal, inefficient, and soul-crushing way to build a business. But proactive, targeted, intelligent, human-to-human outreach, leveraging data and technology to start meaningful conversations that you then nurture with automated systems, that is not only alive and well, it is single-handedly the most powerful and controllable way to build a real estate empire in America today. While your competitors are waiting for the phone to ring, you are making it ring. While they are praying for leads from Zillow, you are creating your own economy. You are not a victim of the market. You are the master of it. So I'll leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, stop calling it cold calling. The term itself is negative and outdated. Start calling it opportunity calling. Because that's what you're doing, creating opportunity where it didn't exist a moment before. Commit to 1 hour a day. Not with a phone book, but with a targeted list. Not with a robotic script, but with a conversational framework. Don't just make calls. Integrate every conversation into a follow-up system. Do that, and you will discover what the top 1% of agents have always known. That the phone is not a tool for interruption. It's a tool for connection. And in a world that is becoming more digital and disconnected every day, the person who is brave enough to pick up the phone and create a genuine human connection will not just survive. They will dominate.